like to introduce our evening's guest speaker, Gregory Kruckewitt, who is KG6SJT. He's the ARRL Sacramento Valley Section District 3 Emergency Coordinator.
Thank you. All right, what we're going to do quickly tonight, so we don't run out of time, we're going to go over some slides to give you an overview of Packet, show you some of the equipment you need, show you some of the programs that work, and then hopefully we'll have a demo that so far is not working well in that the antenna doesn't seem to be transmitting, but hopefully with an HT, and Carol can see me and Ken probably can, we'll get something going. Anyway, so Packet radio. What it is a way of sending messages. Well, this is what we're going to be doing. What is Packet? What you need. Building a Packet station software. All right, it's a digital mode of sending messages. It's not like the Bluetooth for the headset, huh? Okay. Where does this click? Oh, here. Sorry.
Close to the mouth.
Maybe that would be better.
Does
that work okay now?
Better turn it up just a tad.
You do it over there. Okay. Anyway, you can connect between radios, so I could send a message to Carol, she could send it to me, I could send it to Ken, I can send it to BBS, which is a bulletin board system, and I have sent messages to Hawaii, because you can connect and it gets forward and transferred. So just to give you a quick overview, and it's not going to be technical because I'm not technical. I should keep up with the slides rather than my reading here. These are the things. Anyway, it's wonderful for IMCOM. All right, how Packet radio works, it uses a protocol. It's a data layer networking protocol called AX.225. It sends packets, which is a chunk of data, and it has the header, which tells you where it's going, who it's from. It's got what you're sending, and then it's got a checksum. And what that allows it to do is it sends it pretty much error-free, because if it gets it, it says, this isn't right, it'll try again. And the way I think of it, and that may be, I like to think of concrete things, that may have been the 30-some years of teaching kindergarten, among others. If you think of a packet as an envelope, a bunch of these, and this works the same with your cellular network. It's all sent out, and there could be thousands of envelopes running around. They're kind of addressed because it's a direct thing. This one came from me. It's going to Ken, who's sitting there. It says this is number 1 that I'm sending. In my checksum, this is much simplified. It's 5 words, and if you were to open it up, you'd get the first 5 words. Ken, please send your times. Okay, that's not a whole thing. Next packet comes in, and the software will put it all together for you. Same thing, it says there's 5 more words at the shelter this week. So all these things, little bits and pieces are going through the air on RF. They all get reconstituted, plugged in, and then hopefully you have a message. And it establishes a 2-way connection. So if I know it came from Ken, Ken knows it goes to him. And that's all, you don't have to know that. It just works. So hopefully visualizing it helps a little bit. If you're looking up here, there's bulletin boards. And how many people back in the 70s and 60s on dial-up with computers? Like CompuServe, that was a bulletin board. And you would connect to the bulletin board. You could send messages back and forth on that. Well, those kind of went out of favor on radio, but they're now coming back. And a good friend in Winters now is running a full-service BBS, bulletin board, and he's running it on those little Raspberry Pis. That thing does just about everything. He's got it connected to WinLink. He's got it forwarding mail. He runs a NTS system, so you can send an NTS message and it'll inject it into the national traffic system. It's all done automatically now. Yeah? Oh, it's AG6QO-1. And there's information at the very end. This whole presentation or whatever is going to be up on the website, and it already is, at sacvalleyAries.org. And I have some cards, it's on there. But if you go and look under presentations or packet, there's a lot of information about packet, and this will be up there. And Joe has stuff about his. And it works wonderfully well.
It's also on our website on the meeting downloads page now.
Okay, great. Yeah, and you've been using it. Mm-hmm. And it works extremely well. That's a bulletin board system for there. There's also what's called a PBBS, which is a personal bulletin board system. And that's built into a lot of TNCs. Let me unplug this one. And this is a KPC3 here. And it's got a mailbox in it. So somebody can send me a packet message. I don't have to have my computer on. It'll come in, get stored in here. And when I come home, like if I've been gone, there's a little light here called mail. It'll be blinking at me. Then I know I can connect and read my mail. This has a lot of advantages over certain digital forms where you have to be standing there with your computer running to get the information and decode it. This gets stored right here, so you can store. You can also have it set up to forward. And I have got that to work with Joe's BBS. Anyway, that works well. Okay, some of the advantages are messages can be stored and forwarded through a whole network. That works well with all kinds of messages. You can also hook up nodes. So like, I can't hit, actually I can't hit anything tonight from here, but normally I can connect to Mount Berryessa Peak, use that node, and then zoom down. I've made it as far as Las Vegas by connecting nodes. And all a node is the radio and a TNC, and it forwards the information and does the error correcting. One of the advantages is you don't need to be online. As long as your radio and your TNC is on. I've left mine on last week for 2 weeks when I had to go out of town, and I had 1 or 2 messages. Not that it was important. Most of the time I go through the BBS now. All right, it's wonderful for sending information. How many people practice message handling, which can be tedious if you have a lot of information? But Packet is ideal for sending like a list of materials, addresses, instructions, scientific words that are out of my realm of everyday use. Like one of these samples I saw, hydrogen sulfide and sulfate, 2 different things. If you're doing that over voice, you'd be doing, you know, a Hotel Yankee Delta Romeo Oscar phonetically. And it does the air checking so you don't have those mistakes. It works great for complex data. I know some people, I know Ken does it. How many people work at the Tevis or the Western States, 100-mile ride up in the hills? You do. Lee does, yeah. They do it with a voice and with Packet. And for every horse or runner, and I think there are a couple hundred, when they come to a rest stop, you have to send what number they were, what time they came in, what's their status, like they came in, and when they leave, you do the same thing. So if you have 100 people, that's 200 bits of information. And it's stuff like this. Rider 206 came in at 9:21, and then the first one out went out at 2:06, went out at 10:03. Ken was telling me last year, they were like rest stop 3 or 4, wherever. They had all their data sent, because all the riders had come in, did their mandatory rest, and left. and they were still doing it on voice at one of the stations earlier, because they would have to be saying 206-0921 in, working their way down for 100, 200 riders. So this is quicker.
On the debits, they put them on 20 entry tickets. So, and they're coming in pretty fast. When they generally they're pretty well grouped up, whether they're runners or horse and rider. And they bring in 20 of them tickets at a time. They have a lot of staff at each one of those sites that log all that information, and they'll bring you a ticket with 20 entries on it, and they'll hand it to you in packet. By far and away is you can. There's a program that you can enter all that information in there, and then you check it with your radio partner before you submit it. And after we submit it, it goes to their net control for the event itself. They will once over check of it to make sure the information is there, what they want, and logical, and then it goes out nationally or internationally, all over the world, basically on that website, and that's how fast that information, that much information goes out and ends up in the whole system. And the problem that they run into on a lot of occasions with the 2 meters voice is the signal. We're at a place called Last Chance, which is down in the bottom of the canyon, as far down there as you can get. So trying to get out of Last Chance with voice is quite a proposition. You can do it, but it's tough. I mean, you lose your signal from time to time, and a lot of those folks are just having trouble getting in to do that on 2 meter voice. Where packet, it's just push the button and it's gone. It's a great system for this kind of information.
Right. And for those races, they use Winlink, which is packet, but it's sending it to email. And because they are in the hole, they can't hit a lot of places directly. So they take a Ken made one, a TNC with a radio and an antenna. You put it up at the top of the ridge. That's your node. You connect from the hole up to the node to where you need to end up going. So you kind of hip-hop, frog leap across. All right, building a quick packet station. We'll just show you a simple one. This one is I have an FT8800 with a TNC. The one I'm going to end up using, because that one's not connected to an antenna, you need a TNC, a terminal node connector. And this, I love the Cantronics ones, so those work well. You need a radio, and this is just an HT. You need a cable, and this is a USB to serial type cable to plug it into the computer, and a cable from the TNC to the radio. And that's pretty much, oh, you need power for your TNC. And this little 9-volt battery that'll run for days. Normally I have it right into a power supply. That's pretty much all you need. You can make it a little more complex, but that's basically the 5 parts you need. You can use different software. I forgot to show you this. This is a signaling. Anybody have one of these at home? Yeah. You can do packet with it, but I haven't been successful terribly. I got it to run. I got one because people were talking about using it. And I said, okay, fine. I finally got it hooked up. Took days because that AGWPE kept flaking out, and I tried some other ones. Finally got it to work, had it connect to WinLink, to the BBS, and the like. Put it away, went back to my standard setup, came back 2 months later, and it decided it didn't like me. So now it sits in a box to remind me. But I'm hoping when I get an HF antenna back up, it got knocked down in the storm. It supposedly works quite well with HF, so we'll see. All right, but anyway, if you want it to work first time, pretty much every time, get a hardware TNC. This is great, it makes noises.
Feedback.
What?
Feedback, that's it.
Feedback, okay. There's certain types of programs. The most basic one is called a terminal program. And it's just, if you remember the old computers before they had the interface, like the old Windows and DOS, you type everything. And that's how this is. And you can do it, but there's lots and lots of commands. And it takes time. You know, if you want to connect, you have to click out. I have to keep my arm down, I guess. You have to type C and then where you're going to connect. And it gets a little tedious. But it is good. You can do a thing called unproto, which is you can just connect to like a frequency. Say I'm going to send it out to everybody, not to a specific person. And if everybody's on unproto, it just becomes like a chat system. You type something, I type something, other people. Every Sunday night at, what is it, 8 o'clock, I believe, they have the Northern California packet net. Everybody gets on Proto, and they type, and they have people from Redding down to the Bay Area. And everybody's checking in, and some people tell a little story.
All up and down the state.
Yeah. So that works for that very well. That's one thing that Signalink can't do, apparently, is do an unproto, because it just doesn't work that way. I was talking, the Sacramento Sheriff Sharp was trying that. You can send a message, but you only get one out. And it just said it didn't work well. All right. There's a program called RMS Express, and that's designed specifically for Winlink 2000. And RMS stands for Radio Mail Service. And you can send a message, it goes to a server, and they have 5 of these, they're called CMS, Content Management Servers, I think, around the world. And it's used by a lot of people like sailors. They can send and receive email out at sea, thousands of miles from shore. You can send messages and just leave them there and then retrieve them later. You can send, and I was hoping to demo it, I could send an email to your home email address or your cell phone email address by just sending it through RMS Express. Or you can send a text message the same way. So it's pretty handy. And it's always kind of fun to get a message on your phone from somebody that's, you know, out in the middle of the woods, which I have been, and sent messages. So it's ideal for mail anywhere. It will also let you do attachments, although at the speed this runs, like, which is about 1200 baud, it takes a while. It's going to tie up the frequency. But if you send a little JPEG, you probably could do that. And it can be used on higher speeds with HF. Another one, this is the one I designed specifically for emergency incoms. It's called Outpost Packet Manager. And it was designed by the Santa Clara Areas Group, Jim Oberhofer. And it gives you basically your like email interface. Once you set up stuff, you just say, okay, I want to send a message to this person or this BBS. You just select that one, hit the button. It automates everything. It'll do the connection, and then it just sends your mail. It'll check for your mail, and puts them all in nice little boxes. Here's like the message list. So these are mail messages that I had the other day. Feedback again. You see Monday, Tuesday test, Wednesday test. There's a net up in Nevada, and that group up there, they have all their operators. One of the people is sending out a daily test message that goes to everybody on just traditional packet to a BBS. And it's never anything important, like, we're hoping for snow. Well, you keep hoping. He said it didn't hit this the other night. Anyway, but they come in, and you can read them, so you'll see all your messages. If you haven't read them, they'll be dark, so you can tell. And when you read them, let's see if I read a message. Here was one I got from Joe. I'd sent an NTS message to Alta. and that got injected into the national traffic system. And I said, did it go through? Because I didn't know if he had a forwarding partner. And he just wrote back and said, I said, I hope it wasn't any work. He goes, PBS does it automatically. It's not any work for him. Sorry. I'm not sure where it's approved. Anyway, it all works. And then the message, once it's in the national traffic system, they may send it by packet. One of the operators may say, I'll deliver it. They'll deliver it by voice. They could deliver it by telephone, or if it needs to be forwarded, they even do it by CW or SSB. So, and quickly here is, if you want to write a message, all you do, especially if you're using a BBS, it's simple, because everything goes to the same location. You pick your BBS, where you're sending it, and who you're sending it to. You just type up your message, hit send, and you hit the button send and receive, off it goes. And it's that simple. Okay. It's ideal for areas because it's got an email-like interface, which most people are familiar with. It has inboxes, outboxes, archives. You can draft, delete stuff. And it also, an address book, which is kind of handy, especially if you're hopping around. It automates all the columns. And the thing I like about Outpost, it's scriptable. So I can have it go and check 5 different BBSs or PBBSs by hitting one button. And it goes, okay, it goes to one, then the script says go to the next, go to the next. They're using that in Solano. Bob Hewitt said because they have a lot of packet operators, rather than everybody trying to send a message to one place, they leave it on their TNC, and then whoever's net control can go and just retrieve messages from all of them. They just pulls and gets them. So it works, he likes that. And let's see, it does auto logging, which gives you the accountability if you need to for your served agency. It'll show you, you have copies, all your sent mail is still, it goes into a folder. Whereas if you're just typing it through the terminal program, unless you keep a transcript, it'd be hard to retrieve everything. So, okay. Well, the plan was to demo this, so we'll try. This one did not work, so I'm not even going to waste time on that, because I think the antenna, for some reason, is acting a little flaky. But Carol said we can get to hers, and Ken has one, although I think Ken and I will be on 050, because we programmed that in at low power.
Now, mine is down right now, so you're going to have to connect with it.
Oh,
Unless want to try to go through that node, because I connected to the node through here, and I actually got to Berryessa.
Oh, so it's working?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. If not, you can come up and install pretty hardware. That's about the best we can do on that. Oops, wait a second. I think there was one more here. So we'll do that, and then we're going to try to connect. I'll try to connect to Ken. He can try to connect to me. And anyway, all this slides are up on sacvalleyAreas.org, so you can take a look. All right, we'll get rid of that, and we'll try to use Outpost. And I'm just using a cheap HT. So let's see if I got everything plugged in. We'll hope for the best. Okay. And well, you can see my inbox here. And let me see if I can connect to the BBS in Winters. I'm just not sure. Let me make sure I've set up, because this is different than at home. Okay, so we need to go Citrus to Berry. Okay, so I hit send and receive. This brings up almost like a terminal program. It's showing you what's going on. hopefully something.
Yeah, this is one
No, Citrus doesn't work as a digipeater, strictly as a node.
A node, okay.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'm going to have to, okay. Wasn't that exciting? Okay.
No, sorry.
It doesn't have a built-in, oh, because...
The digipeater, I think you have to do it through, KP4MD might work as a digipeater.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have mine set up to do both.
yeah.
The two different types. All right, let me abort this real quick, and we'll try. Ken, do you want to try to send a message? Let's get on 050 low tower. And we're going to send, he'll send me something, hopefully. And if he sends me an email, a packet message, let me get this out of here. It may take a second. You should see a little light here light up, which is good because I'm not having any success with this. Come on. That's the one thing about some of these programs like this, trying to get out of it. Oh, is my light blinking? Okay, when he connects to it, the light goes solid. And this is, oh, you got the right one. You're using W6KJX-1. Okay. Come on, shut.
Saying blips.
It's blipping?
Ready.
Whoops. It's gone.
Looks like data coming across.
Yeah, it's sending and receiving.
Too close together, though.
Are we still too
Well, I
close?
don't know, it looks like you might take it, I laid mine down, see what
No, I'll lay this one
I
down.
think they fight when they're too close together, and it's.
That was the problem. Paul,
We're here, we're seeing it back here.
you're seeing all that?
Yeah.
That's great. Are you on 050?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, let's see.
we're on the wind pack,
You're on WinPack. Okay. Well, let me see. Let's see. Lose. Okay. Well, this will hopefully just connect to here, and it's going to look. I have one message, which was. I don't see where it went. You didn't get your sent, did you?
you can jump out of your TNC,
What's that?
that's it, out of your TNC.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Okay, you want to send another quick message, or Paul, or Dwayne, do you want to try to send one?
I don't think you're getting one.
Okay, well this TNC, this one has my wife's call sign, so I didn't get confused with the other one. The mailbox name is W6KJX-1.
It's all her fault.
It must be. Of course, mine didn't work either, which is interesting. At home, I send back and forth. But, okay. Well, somebody's
Well,
sending.
there's me trying it again.
I saw green. Yes, we do.
Maybe if I go outside and just keep going.
Well, that was the problem before.
What is the radio doing? What is the radio?
The radio, okay, while this process, it's listening on a frequency.
It's fast.
It listens and sends data back. So it's a simplex frequency. So it's listening, and when it hears a message and it knows it's going to this one, it brings it in, and then it sends back an acknowledgement saying, okay, I got that chunk, send the next chunk. And it just goes back and forth. And if you have a lot of traffic, you get a lot of what are called packet collisions. It's where too many messages are going at the same time and they keep running in. So it takes longer. If you look at the top of the radio, it's blinking, you know, sending and receiving back and
Is there
forth.
anything that shoves it down to 385?
To
Is there anything
300?
that will shove it down from 12 to 300?
Hey, Greg.
Don't know, yes. Okay. I've got a blinking light. Oh, mail. Okay. And you sent it to my call sign?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure that's who I have it as. You can identify as different people. So if my wife uses it, she can put in her call sign. Or you can put in a tactical one. So now, hopefully there's mail in here, and I can get it, and we'll see what Ken sent me. Send and receive. It says I have one message. Okay. And I think the other one, I don't know why that doesn't come in. Anyway, he just sent this, and it says, Greg, the demo for packet radio system, thanks for bringing me along. Ken. So now if I want to reply to Ken, all you have to do is press reply. No problem. Fun times. Okay. Or whatever you want to type. If you can even type, it's even better. Yeah, which I'm not good at. All right, so I just say send, and now send and receive. And it's that easy to reply.
So what bands do you use this on?
Well, it's on 2 meter in the digital sections. So this one, right now, we're on 145 decimal 050. That's where Caber and the whole, there are nodes all over California. So when I'm up in Volcano, I can connect to one there, which will connect over to Mount.
They're not all 2 meters, or are they all 2 meters?
These are all 2 meters for this packet. There's also 144 decimal 370. That's another band. There are several of them, but those are the ones I use. You had a question?
Here's an oldie. Are people still doing RTTY?
Yes, they are.
They're doing that and this?
Well, I don't know what they're doing. I know somebody I talked to last night, because I was doing the, end up being net control for the YOLO Amateur Radio Society every week. It was supposed to be a temporary thing, and it's been 3 years. And I go, anyway, one of the people there got to that DXpedition Narvasa Island, the rarest one, and he did it on RTTY. At least that's what he said. Lee?
You mentioned mailboxes. There's a mailbox in the Kenwood TMD700 transceiver, TNC. It's not documented in the manual.
Ah.
It just says there's a mailbox. So several years ago, I documented it, and I have copies of this for anybody that's interested.
Oh, I'd love to, if you want to.
What the commands are. I found out what the good firmware in there was, and went and looked up what the things were for that, and they work. So I've got the
That's great. Well, if you have that all written up, if you'd like, I can post it on sacvalleyAries.org.
Yeah.
Share it with people.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We try to put up.
It does. I think it's on the internet currently, but I'll double check. But I have a copy of it.
Okay, great.
Otherwise,
Thank you. And fellows behind you.
I'm not up on the current rules and regulations about this, but years ago we had a problem when the FCC ruled that we were responsible even for automated packet stations, but people were sending these through, and you got hung for it, and you were offline. Is that still going on?
I believe it is, you know, as much as their enforcement goes. You know, if you're running a BBS, you kind of need to pay attention. I know Joe goes through it all and keeps a pretty good eye on it. With Winlink, they came out with a nifty new tool, because I run a Winlink gateway that's been running for, I think, 3 or 4 years now, where other stations can connect to send Winlink email. And they have a tool that's on their website now, because it all goes through their servers, and you can actually see if there's anything going on. And then what they say is, talk to the person and say, don't do that anymore. You know, but I don't know. I don't know how much the FCC enforces that. It'd be nice if people didn't do that. It's kind of childish.
It was just automatically going through before we get it.
Right, but you can't censor everything.
Yeah.
Look at Google and what's that?
Have you tried voice recognition software with it? Some people are using that on CWs. Where you try with this.
No, I haven't tried that. I suppose if you had what are those voice ones, Dragon Speak, you could probably type it in. Have it typing for you. I've never tried it though. Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the sound card program that you were using. There's another program called Sound Modem. It works exceptionally well. I've used it almost exclusively with the International Space Station.
Okay.
APR is bouncing emails off the.
Is that the UZ71?
Huh?
Is that what it's called? The name of it is Sound Modem?
Sound Modem is specifically the name. Yeah, it's very simple to use. It does it via network, so it sets up a network link, so any program can connect to it through the network can. Another little note is that AX25 is native to Linux, so it needs very little support to do APRS or a packet. I do a lot of APRS, so very similar.
Good deal. Yeah, I'll have to look up that one. There was one, I think it's UZ7HO, came out with a replacement for that AGWPE, which is the sound card modem part. And that one worked better, and there's another one called Dire Wolf.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be very good.
Sound modem is very simple, works extremely well.
Right. I'll have to try that because I wasn't, AGWP would work for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've used it, it's finicky. I used it with Mir, when the Mir space station was up.
Right. That was a while ago, huh?
Yeah, they had a packet DBS system on there. And I used to connect that to it.
Anyway, there's that, and I don't know, we'll try one more time. Let me see if I can get to Caber. I don't know. If I go to Packet, I would like to get to WinLink, but we'll try. 1 second. With the BBS, you can put a path. We'll get rid of Citrus. Otherwise, I have to write a script for the node. I will try. If not, you get to see how it fails. Failure. It's not connecting. Normally at home it works great though, and it works up in the mountains when I have the antennas I use. So, okay. What's that?
You have a message waiting.
I have another one. Okay, as soon as this decides it's going to quit, I'll get some more mail. Oh, it did. Okay. So now I have to go not to that station. I go to my local mailbox. Whoops, which isn't that one. It's Lou's local mail. And I'll hit send and receive. And I have another message.
Nothing recent.
And where it is, I do not know.
It's right there above the,
Test 2.
right there.
Oh, test 2. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, okay.
You didn't stack on top.
Yeah, I've got everything all out of whack here. Anyway, you know what? There's an easy way to fix that. Archive all of that. All right. And you can send another one if you want. Anyway, then they'll show up. I get confused. The way I have it at home, I have it different, I guess. But because I usually use a Macintosh at home, but I run Windows on that. So, all right. So that's kind of the demo. You can see the parts. Unfortunately, it didn't work the way I was hoping. I had it planned out that you could send some email to each of some people that wanted to try it. If you want to put your phone number down, your cell phone, if you want to send packet through WinLink, you can use it to, with like your phone number, and if you have AT&T, it's through an email gateway. So at txt.att.net. But anybody wants a WinLink, I'll send you one tonight or tomorrow. Or you can have it go to your email address, which is just your email address. So, unfortunately, no, are you sending another one, Ken? Nah, nah, that's fine. I can show you quickly the terminal program. This is it. It's just very simple, a window that's not working. Unfortunately. Change cables on this. I guess not. Yeah. Oh boy, this is just terrific here. Outpost Settings 3. One of those days, nothing is working here. Well, I think I'll do that. Get out of this. Oh, I think something's hung up here. That could be it. May still be trying to connect. That's probably it. There we go. Now we're back in the terminal program. So it has lots of settings. You can just TNCs have a lot of things you can configure. You can see a lot of the different options, and that can be kind of overwhelming. But luckily, when you buy one, when you first plug it in, you use the terminal program. You hit, it's F8, it has a direction. You hit that a few times, it figures out the baud rate, it asks you your call sign, it sets up almost all of it for you. It's really simple. And then when you want to get in trouble, you can start changing it. So like when I'm running that gateway for WinLink, the main part goes to WinLink, but I also have a mailbox that's called ARRL. And they were using that for the plaster, an emergency exercise a year or so ago because they didn't have a mailbox. So everybody was sending their packet messages to ARRL, to whoever was net control, and he could just pick them up and read them from there. But you can do things.
Slide down to the unproto.
Okay. Are you, okay, we'll do.
The unproto, see, he's got up there grade via cable, and that gives you your, link to be able to go people.
Okay.
People. You have to put the TNC into the unproto mode.
Okay, I'm in it now. Are you in it?
Okay.
Dwayne? What are we on? We're on 050.
Right.
If you can you go unproto?
Yeah.
If you do that and Ken does it, we can actually, you can see a conversation. So, and hopefully somebody will answer. Are you seeing that, Ken? Anybody want to buy a whole setup for $2? Haven't had this much problem. Yeah? Oh. Oh well. Oh, we're still, maybe we're on, whoops, I'm on high power. Okay.
I think I am too.
Which one are we on? There we go. I'm on low power now. Okay. Hi, Kennedy. Well, anyway, you get kind of the idea. Hopefully with a bigger antenna and one that works. It really does work, and Carol's been using it and can testify it does work.
Yes.
So, you're not seeing anything, Ken? Unproto? Isn't that interesting?
So basically, it's texting by radio.
Yep.
That's it.
That's pretty much what that does. And this is like a group text. So
Yeah.
anybody that's on this should be able to see it.
Yeah.
And so that's why that Sunday night net you know, you're sitting there and there's messages coming from all kinds of people, and it usually would put your call sign. Maybe if I ID. Is this even, what's going on? No, but it should ID here. Let's try that again. There's definitely a problem somewhere here. I'm starting over.
It's like you're not decoding packets.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not sure what's going on with this. Okay, from Toto. Control C. Disconnect. ID. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with this setup. I had it working, but it's not working tonight. So, anyway, I apologize for that. But you're welcome to come up and take a look at anything. If you have questions about it, I've got some cards. Feel free to email or call even during the day, and we can kind of help. I've helped a lot of people this way over the phone and with email, and hopefully I can be more helpful than I am tonight. But anyway, that's kind of it for tonight. So, any questions?
Is the various, is that simplex also?
Yes, all packets simplex. Yeah, and it's on 145.050.
Yeah, but
and,
over here. So
right. Yeah, we have up on various at the peak and Ken's the trustee for the repeater. We have a voice repeater. We have packet on 1050. Joe has a packet on 144.370, and they're all stacked up on the antenna and on the tower. And they all work. Lee?
I might mention, Joe is going to be speaking at the May North Hills meeting. After hearing you, I'm going to have to talk to him about what he's going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a lot of interesting subjects up his sleeve that I didn't know about.
Right. Well, he has. Yeah, he's got mesh nodes.
Yeah. He was going to come and talk about the mesh nets, but I think there's things more interesting that he could talk about.
Right. If you go to sacvalleyAries.org under Documents, Training Resources, and Packet, there's links to Joe's presentations that he's done.
He's already committed to come to the May meeting.
And he's doing just really interesting stuff. And he's now hooked up a mesh node, and we have one up on top of the hill. The problem is trees down below the hill. We can get, I think, 16 or 18 miles from the repeater, but then Ken can't quite hit it because...
Well, I'm 22 miles of his Raspberry Pi node on the hill, and I can hit it in my house. But if there's a tree in the way, that stuff is so line of sight. If there's a tree in the way or something like that, and I got 3 palm trees right between that go to my house and I know that I'm on the hill up there. But if I put up a temporary antenna and go just to the north of those trees and shoot it up there and connect right after that's 22 miles away.
It's a real mesh.
It works.
Well, if I had a chainsaw, it would be $5.
Yeah.
You'd be laying on the ground.
is that using something other than radio?
It's like Wi-Fi. It's like Wi-Fi. And then you can hook to it, hook your computer. I'm hoping I can hit it from mine, but our neighbor had remodeled their house, and it's like twice as tall as our house, and right at the edge of the field. So the next plan is when they finish doing their remodeling. Do you mind if I put a small antenna up at the top of your peak?
Exactly.
So we'll see. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.